New bag of screws, let's go. These stick out way too far. But the thing is, they're actually gonna fit. Yeah, that's fucking going nowhere. I got 2 pieces of the pickguard cut out. Great news, it fits really well. Bad news is that we're not done yet. So what needs to happen, look at how nicely that comes off. You can kind of see, well, maybe you can't on the camera, but I can see there's some areas that I missed with the router. It could be a little bit cleaner, a little bit tidier. There's this whole area that's sticking out. A lot of detailing work. But stuff that we do need to include is we have to make a hole for our switches. 1 for the toggle switch, and then 4 for our pots. Something like that. The epoxy should hold through most things. I was doing some light bending earlier and it didn't look like it was gonna snap or break off at any point. I just realized I have to fucking drill all of the screws for the plate. Shit. I want this thing to leave me alone. Look at that. That's really well centered. I love working with pickguards. They're my favorite. Looks a little silly, but that's what we're just gonna have to deal with for now. What else did I want to do? The boat jack. So originally this is supposed to go here, or in this case, I'm actually gonna hide it on the back. Down here somewhere. These look fucking ridiculous. They stick out like bolts on Frankenstein. Okay, so that gives me like a rough area to work in. I am not a professional woodworker. We'll start installing everything else. Where was... oh, I'm looking right at it. I was gonna say, where's the cleat and the springs that came with the bridge? They're right in front of me. I saw a thing where a person was installing the spacers for the tuning machines. And they used a screwing type of clamp. That didn't seem to work in my case. Stay still. And I wanted these vintage style tuners mainly because it's really hard to fuck up the alignment. It's hard to fuck up the alignment unless the alignment on the actual neck is bad. This B string is off-centered. I could cheat a little bit. Question is, do I really want to? I would say that I think I'd be kidding myself if I thought that was going to work. But it actually might. Look at that. So after witnessing my mistakes yesterday, I was thinking, well, no, that's a lie. I wasn't thinking. The thought just kind of came to me. There are guitars that just have two separate pickguard pieces. And so that's what I'm going to be going for. In the end, I'm probably going to get another pickguard, which I'm not going to like. Oh my god, I'm not going to like that. I can't very well cut these out right now. It's raining, and I don't want to fill my house with dust particles of plastic. There's already enough microplastics in me. I don't need macroplastics too. I just might scrap this. Not this project, but the video. Just say that today never happened, because I was already limited as soon as I started. Limited to what I could do. And so far what I can do is not working. I guess we'll install the cleat while we're at it. How am I doing this? Do I dare try and string this up? Oh, I can't, because we don't have the nut in place. Guess I can figure that out a while. The one good thing to happen so far. I need strings. I don't have dummy strings down here. I swear every day that I work on this, it seems like the wood of the body just gets more fragile. And now since I've said that, this thing's gonna fucking fall apart. Wow, that's low. That's right on the money. Good. Okay, so this is totally possible. At least we know that the action is correct. I think just because I don't really have too much I can do right now, I am just gonna tune this up properly, put a string tree in. I was fiddling around with this a little bit more. The string action was just way too high, and I got that fixed. But while I was doing that, I was also trying to intonate it. That turned out to be a really big failure. Only the high E string was able to be intonated. So that tells me that this whole bridge needs to be moved back, probably to the extent of where the hole is. There, that gap. But while I was doing that, I also found other things that I needed to fix, and we have a list. There was some issues, mainly at the 18th and 19th fret. So 16 through 21 are going to get hit again with files. I can have this be two separate pieces, but I think there's just so much that's wrong. Yeah, if I drilled these holes into wood, it'd be a lot more stable. The magic number, at least from what I've tested with other guitar nuts, is about 4/64ths, or 2/32, or 1/16, or a half of an eighth, or a quarter of a quarter, is what our nut looks like now. I put it at just a little over 4/64ths, just in case I need to adjust something later down on the line, but it feels so much better. Yeah, feels really good. I can cross final nut off the list. I was being indecisive about this for a long time. We have the 16th to the 21st fret that need to get redone. I should probably just redo the whole neck. And I was debating in my head for a long time whether or not I wanted to do that, or if I should just do a drop off at the 12th fret. I'm going to try a drop off and see how that works. And you know what? While I'm stopping and starting all the time, let's get this plugged. 0.9645. And off camera, I'm going to use a miter box and saw. I bought wood glue earlier, Gorilla wood glue. Sealed shut, you couldn't get glue through it. Moral of the story, I still hate Gorilla. Again, miter box. I don't know why I marked 2, I need 8 of those. There's so much of guitar building that is just aesthetics and visual appeal. You can have a nut or a bridge made from a pencil and it would still work properly. The industry of guitar building has just been refining and remaking its processes over and over again. There hasn't been much that's changed since like the 50s. I was at the craft store yesterday and I got into the paint aisle and it was giving me ideas. I saw paint flakes and thought, oh, wouldn't it be so cool if there was like a guitar that had paint flake finish? Yeah, I want my guitar to look like a gym floor, like a garage floor, because it's so tough. No, I think that would be a pretty cool appearance for a guitar. Probably not good for a Gibson style though. Okay, back to this. Okay, we're done. And I want you to notice how basically the marker on every single fret is pretty much gone, except for this guy, which just has a very small sliver of exposed wire. Absolute insanity. And we'll do the fret crowning. What if there's a channel that goes out and purchases guitars made from other people and reviews them? Or they review like luthiers. They'll find videos of people making guitars and they'll just do like a review. Do a review of their work. Boy, I would not get a good score. Frets are all taken care of. We can cross that off our list. Okay, so enough time passed where the glue should be set. Get everyone's favorite character, the drill. Fuck, that's way off. God damn. I need to slow down. I'm gonna clean stuff up, get a little bit more organized. Because apparently my workshop is a representation of my mental state. And it's a mess.
You can't always get what you want. But I can't chase out.
Okay, well, that's the progress for today. Pretty good, all things considering. Overall, it's a pretty shitty mess. This is gonna get remade eventually. Cleaning the output jack is the last thing on the list, but that's fairly cosmetic. Slowly but surely, this thing will come alive today. Alright, we are back. I had to do a little bit of finagling. We're gonna fix this tangled piece of mess. We're gonna put what we can onto this part here, and we're just gonna say fuck it and leave this whole space open. We're back, and now with 100% less noise. So what were we doing? We're gonna string this up. So the fact that it would be like creaking and cracking and making all these noises that it shouldn't is because it's the wood trying to adjust all that pressure. This is a fairly light guitar, pretty open grain. means that it needs to be toned down a little bit. So as much as I like this neck, it doesn't have a lot of life left in it. Hey, look at that. We're basically back on track. Still has that really nice natural reverb. So now comes the part that I was dreading, the intonation. There we go. Fucking finally. How many is that? 2? 2 of the 6 strings are intonated. Here's a good question. Was the route for this bridge even at the right spot? How is it that when this bridge was forward, that's where it wanted to be intonated? But now since we moved it backwards, it wants to go even further. So then pickup height. That's good. That's good. That's too far. And that's way too low. Dilemma solved. Headache achieved. All this buzzing up at the headstock that wasn't there before. I don't think it's the nut. I think it's actually the tuners. How's everyone enjoying the shit show? My confidence at this point is a little low. Let's get this thing plugged in. There is some type of grounding issue. So a lot of noise seems to be coming from the treble bleed pot. So there's something with this that's causing a lot of problems. And I am probably gonna have to remove it, which throws a big wrench in the whole works. Oh, my little practice amp down here is what I use when I need to test stuff. Okay, so when you have series parallel for these two on, activating this doesn't do anything. But then something weird happens when you flip to this. Like, it becomes so harsh. It's like only mid-range. And this toggle switch doesn't really add anything either, which I thought was going to be like some kind of, ultimate utility tool. It's just turning out to really be nothing. Seriously? That's still that 18th fret. This might be the nail in the coffin. D string, 18th fret. G string, 15th fret. At the 18th fret. B string. That's honestly probably the best thing out of this whole project that's happened, is this output jack. The actual cavity looks like shit, but I mean, like, the convenience and ease of it is just really nice. Do I even make a list of what I would need to change? The tuners would have to get replaced again. The frets would have to get leveled again. The pickguard would still need to be made from wood. The middle pickup is gone. This whole setup is gone. The bridge still needs to get repositioned. The passive treble bleed knob would be gone. The whole principle and idea of this initial design has gone completely out the window. Normally, when I get this far in a project, I usually take 2 weeks, figure out all the kinks and bugs and whatnot, see what needs to get changed. I don't know what's gonna happen. So you're probably either gonna see this in the background of other videos for a while, or it's gonna go in the trash. Not every project is a failure.